Okay, from the very beginning, I was born into a working class family, so I didn't know anything about university or art or anything like that. So, and then I I went to train as a nurse because I wanted to help people, and because I wanted to be a social worker. I didn't want to go to social work. And then I met some people who said I should go to drama college. So I went to drama college and I trained as an actor, and then I did some movement training at drama college, and then the dance teacher said I should do some dance training. So I went to dance school, and then I went to dance school and hated it and wanted to go back to theatre, but I got a job in a dance company, and since then I've been making my own work. So I've done a lot of solo work, then co-founded DV8 with Lloyd, and then I left DV8, and now I make work on other companies. I work with actors and dancers. I still do solo work, so I've just made a new solo that is just about to start touring. And I write, and I direct, and I sing, and yeah, I have 4 cats. I love animals. I love animals more than people. I don't really like human beings very much. I think with the work I do now, it's very, very intense physical theatre, but with words in it. And I think the work I do now is... I think what you're asking is why I left DV8. I left DV8 because the organisation was getting bigger, and when things get bigger, when companies get bigger, the people in them get smaller, usually. So I felt everything was getting like, massive sets and more technicians behind stage than people on stage, and it was just like too big and too much, and it was also very serious. It's very, very serious, and worthy, and kind of like it's about homophobia or racism or whatever, injustice, world injustice, which is great, it's fine. But I'm more of an entertainer, more of a kind of, I make shows, really. I don't make pieces, I don't make work. I think I'm an artist, yeah, I know I'm an artist, but I don't take things seriously, least of all myself. And so I don't even take my own work seriously, and I certainly don't take other people's work seriously. So I suppose I left DV8 for that reason, because I wanted to be on my own, and I wanted to speak more on stage and sing more, and to make work that was less serious, that was more human, I suppose. The balance between art and entertainment is the thing about entertainment is that it's a dirty word, in art. If you're an artist, then your work is serious isn't the right word, but it's like, I'm an artist, I make something, and it's very important, and I'm expressing myself and my inner self, and this is it, and this is the painting that I've made, this is the film that I've made for people to see, and it is serious, and intellectual, usually white middle-class people go to see this work, and it's so good, yes, it's terrible, it's brilliant, and I don't do that, really. I do that, but I do more kind of entertaining things, so that I think a lot of the time my work is kind of, when people see it, particularly when critics see it, because they laugh and they have a good time, then when they write about it, they think, oh well, it's okay, but it's not really art. It's not really serious art. It's not he's not really saying anything. It's not really, which of course is bullshit, because it's kind of like, the work I make is really rich, and it's many layered, and it comes from a lot of work, hard work on the part of the performers and me, and to create this thing. And it's not easy to be funny. It's not easy to make people laugh. It's not easy to entertain people. Tragedy is easier than comedy. It's easier to make people, not so much make people cry, but to make people a bit sad, or a bit depressed, or a bit concerned. And that's what you get, that's the reaction usually you get from an audience if you make a piece about
cancer or death or, you know, fascism or this is terrible thing, isn't it? So the audience sit there and think, oh, it is terrible, isn't it? Oh, yes, yeah. They don't actually fucking do anything about it, but they, you know, oh, it really is awful, yes. Should we have dinner now? Or it's terrible, isn't it, about all those people who were killed in Rwanda? Yes, right. Should we tea or, you know? So it's, and it's, you know, so it's all that kind of, and a lot of art and a lot of things that I see, performances I see in theatre I see, it's so fucking serious and it's so boring and it's so deadly and it's so depressing and it's so sort of, you know, and that's fine because that's the way, you know, but I'm not that kind of person. I'm sort of, most of the time I'm happy, I'm positive, I don't take anything seriously. I'm just like, oh, here we go, let's do this. And so, you know, it's only life. You know, it's like, oh, come on, it's only life. You're not here for very long. You know, what, you might be here for 70 years if you're lucky, or you could get cancer tomorrow. I could die in my sleep tonight. You know, it's like, it's only life. It's really not important. It really doesn't, you know, doesn't add up to a hill of beans, as they say, somebody said. So you know, so the work that I make is kind of, you know, it's like, oh, come on. It's more of a celebration. I suppose my work I make is a celebration of life. And of love, and it's made with love, and it's like that. It's not really about issues, you know, issue-based work. And it's not very conceptual, so it's not terribly abstract, which is another thing that a lot of artists do. They do this abstract thing, particularly in dance and dance theatre. Oh, it's abstract, and they hide behind this thing of, you know, you ask them, what's it about, and what did that mean? Oh, it's abstract. It's abstract. You know, it's not fucking abstract because it's not abstracted from anything except somebody's brain. You know, some loony sort of, you know, some angst-ridden, depressed, you know, somebody who's had bad relationships for the last 20 years. So they make this piece, you know, and it's like, it's not really. So I think, yeah. So I don't make abstract work. Some of it is abstract, but it's abstracted from something. You know, it's come from somewhere. Yeah. I've tried for many years to stop dance audiences from coming to see my work because dance audience, particularly dance critics, they don't get it at all. It's not, because it's, you know, for a start, they don't think it's dance. A lot of, particularly young people, young students or dancers who come and see my work, they say, a lot of them say, oh, well, it's okay, and it's, you know, but it's not dance, is it? It's not dance. They don't see it as dance. Because the thing is, it's dance and it's acting and it's singing and it's opera and it's all those things put together. So I try to stop dance audiences from coming because they don't usually like it. So I've tried to encourage more theatre people, but really the best audience for me, if I can get them, rarely they come, but as kind of ordinary people, you know, just anybody, just kind of the people who don't go to theatre. Those are the people that I really would like to have as an audience. But the only way to get them as an audience is to do something on television, to, you know, to be in popular kind of culture, popular medium. So yeah, I think now it's taken a long time, but I think the audiences who come to see my work are very mixed. So you get young people, older people, and a few dance audience type people, a few theatre people, a few literary people, a few. So I think it's quite a mix. I hope it is. It's the same for every company that I work for. The methodology and the process is very, very similar. I mean, it's kind of tailor-made, if you like, to that company. So the piece is a product of me, obviously, and the dancers or the performers, the actors working together. So I don't make one piece on, like I've just made a piece in Budapest. So, and before that I made a piece in Poland. So the piece in Poland is very, very different from the piece in Budapest. So I don't make one piece and then go to another country and make the same piece on different people, because it's kind of made for that group of people. So yeah, no matter really who I'm working with, it changes slightly, but it's the same. It's the same process, yeah. And that process has evolved over the last 25, 30 years, so that now it's quite. I don't know what the word is, but it's fast. It happens faster than it used to, because now I know what I want and I see it and I know how to get what I want faster, quicker than I used to. I used to do a lot of messing about or playing about or, oh, let's try this, or and now I go in the studio and from day one it's kind of like, oh, right, try this and do this. And some things don't work, but you know, I know I know what works and how to get to it faster. So the piece is constructed quite a lot faster, and it's constructed chronologically as well. So I'll start on day one with the first scene usually, and then work through like that. And there might be a few other scenes that I've made that slot in, but now it's chronological to the end. The company asked me to make a piece on them, and I might have maybe 6 months or 3 months before I arrive in the place to make the piece. So what I do lots of research. So most of my work is done outside of Britain. So I work with a lot of people in mainland Europe and in Canada and places. So what I do is I research the country that I'm going to and the people. So I try to find out as much about the history, particularly of the country, and the culture and the people. I try to listen to the language. I collect particularly folk songs, old music from that country. So I listen to that so I can feel some kind of the roots of the music, where the music was then and is still being performed. So I do lots of research and trying to find the news, what is happening in the country now and what's there. And then on top of that, then I have kind of images or ideas in my head that I want to see on stage, just no matter who's doing it, but I think, oh, there's this, or I might think, oh, I'd like to use a lot of wigs in this piece, so I get lots of wigs or harmonicas, so I get those all together, so that when I arrive in the country, I have all this information and I have lots of notes and research, and so I absorb as much as I can before I arrive in the country from the people, and then when I'm confronted with the people, with the dancers or the performers, then I kind of very quickly try to sort of psychoanalyze them and think, oh, she's that kind of person. So I'm watching them very intently for the first week. I'm really kind of I don't think they know it, but I'm really looking at them, and we're doing lots of improvisation and things. But really, it's just an excuse for me to be in the room with them, so I can hear them, and when we have breaks, I'm watching them and taking information in all the time. And so so there's all that information, then there's all this information from the people that I'm working with. It goes in here, and then it comes out. So it's kind of, I'm sort of reflecting them back to themselves in a way through the filter of this character, of this person. And then the piece is constructed like that. Yeah.